What if the internet had been invented in 19... Well, first off, we'd all be wearing goggles. That's just how it works. The World Wide Web would have been invented about 50 years ago, which means it would have been a lot more like this. The first website would have been created by a team of engineers at Bell Labs, but instead of HTML, it would have been written in punch cards. Someone would have had to manually read every single book in every single library in the world and then organize them all into one giant card catalog. People would have used their connections at Bell Labs to get their hands on which would have allowed them to share messages with each other in real time over the newly created Transcontinental Automated Network, or TAN, and these messages would have been sent over telegraph wires, which is why the early internet was so slow. It wasn't until the 1960s when we started replacing those wires with fiber optic cables that things really started to pick up. Yes, instead of being powered by lithium-ion batteries, early smartphones would have been powered by tiny nuclear reactors. And not only would this have given you incredible battery life, but it would also have given you the ability to use your phone as a legitimate weapon. And then when you wanted to find something, you'd have to type in keywords and then wait for a human being to fetch the documents that you were looking for. The fact that I still can't get my hands on a Tesla, and instead of being hosted on a server, it would have been printed out on paper tape. And what about the first search engine? Well, that would have been a massive undertaking, a real headcount operation. But what about social media? Well, that would have been a lot more like this. And what about email? Well, that would have been a lot more like this. Instead of sending an email, you would have had to send a telegram. Well, that wouldn't have been possible because even if you had a high-speed internet connection, which was unlikely, the last mile of your connection would have been a physical wire that terminated at your computer. So you wouldn't be able to watch any videos unless they were encoded directly into your cable modem. And if you wanted to attach a file to your message, you'd have to physically mail a floppy disk to whoever you were talking to. But what about streaming? But maybe the greatest invention that would have come out of this alternate 1945, the atomic-powered smartphone. So yeah, the internet has come a long way in the past 50 years. But do you know what hasn't changed?